Kingdom of the One Sicily. Famous for having only two Sicilies. This is obviously one of the bare facts of Czechoslovakia. Why did the Kingdom of the One Sicily only have two Sicilies? Well, in order to find out, we need to go back to the medieval since Sicily had been united under the Pope. Soon after, the Holy Roman Pope then agreed to a French Pope, taking the kingdom, which he soon did as Charles. And 20 years later, the people on Sicily came to a realization. This Pope sucks, and so
urine and feces.
The rest were asked for protection from Pope. This obviously led to war between the Pope, and so I challenged Pope to a duel, which Pope accepted on the condition that it be held. Now, obviously, this would have been amazing. Long story short, there was a lot of war, and in the end, it was agreed that his second-born son could have Sicily, but not him.
Sick hell no!
And this is where the Kingdom of Sicily was broken up. The Aragonese kept the Kingdom of Sicily, and the French kept the rest of southern Italy, which did not contain any Sicily. This wasn't going to stop its rulers from keeping the name, though, and with that, there were two kingdoms of Sicily. These two kingdoms remained separate until the early 16th century, which was when Dave then conquered the south. And all of these soon became a part of the Kingdom of
urine and feces.
But they were still separate entities from each other in terms of governance. These two kingdoms would trade hands a couple more times before it was time for the revolution. At this point, the Sicilies were ruled by King Ferdinand IV, who was a firm opponent of these new ideas. Whilst Napoleon was busy doing his thing, Ferdinand pushed north to remove the Pope from the peninsula. This went incredibly well for the Pope, and pushed him out of the peninsula and promptly deposed him from one of his Sicilies, which led to the victorious European powers trying to reset the continent. Unsurprisingly, Ferdinand wanted his kingdom back and so sent delegates to petition for his restoration. Cleverly, Ferdinand didn't want to be restored as the king of the kingdom of the two Sicilies, but as the king of Sicily and the king of Sicily. This was because he wanted to
make a back cry.
And so, after this, the Kingdom of the One Sicily would remain a part of the European family until its eventual conquest into Italy 45 years later.